Welcome to This Is My Story, a podcast dedicated to sharing your story and how God has helped you take next steps in your journey of faith. I'm your host, Austin Carrick, and let's dive into today's story. Thank you for joining us today as we dive into today's story. Today, we are joined by Hunter Wood, who is a worship and production director for Victory Church. We are so excited to have you with us today, Hunter.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited to dig into some of your story and just what your testimony in your life has looked like from growing up in a Christian family, growing up in faith, and then just having a family health crisis that kind of just shook some things for you. So really excited to dig into that today and just hear how God has worked in your life. So Hunter, tell us a little bit about yourself, your upbringing. What was that like?
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian household in Connecticut. So I grew up in New England. Shout out to Connecticut. Love Connecticut.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Yes.
Is that a thing? A lot of
so
people
don't even talk football with my family because every single person in my family has a different opinion on football.
Interesting.
So we just don't talk about it. Grew up at a Baptist church. My dad was very, very active in the church. So he served on the trustee board, which trustees at our church were people who took care of the building, so maintenance. And then he also helped out as a deacon, which to Victory Church would be an elder.
Okay.
He was my influence when it came to serving the church. I got involved at a very young age. I think I was 10 years old when I first started running audio for our Sunday morning services and changing the slides for the worship team there. And then I loved to do hands-on things. I loved technology. That was kind of where I hung out the most, was basically in the production area. Went to school at a technical high school and learned the electrical trade.
Okay. So like an electrician, like a home electrician, that's what it would be like?
Home, commercial. So when you go to this school, these types of schools, they teach you everything electrical, and then you can kind of pick where you want to go out of there. So you could be a residential electrician, you could be a commercial electrician.
So that would be like running house lights and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, I've wired multiple houses.
So what was your career path at that point? What were you really looking to do with your life?
I wanted to be an electrician, had just so much fun with it. And then one Sunday after church, this is kind of where that whole thing changed. I think I was only in 10th grade. So I was a sophomore, so I was just not even halfway through my high school experience. We were out to eat, and I told my mom that I wanted to buy a guitar, and they laughed.
So this just came out of the blue.
Yeah, I was like, I think I want to learn guitar. I don't know what.
Was it at least electric guitar? That would make a little sense.
No, I said I wanted to buy an acoustic guitar and be able to help out and lead with the worship team. And my parents laughed a little bit because I played trumpet all throughout elementary school.
I played trumpet in elementary as well.
Yeah.
I tried recently as an adult picking it up, and it was horrific.
Yeah, I tried it not too long ago. Yeah. It was bad.
No, not great.
No turning
so
back.
If there's any other fellow trumpeteers listening from the elementary days, if you really want to be disappointed in yourself, bust it out. It's a good laugh. It's a really good time.
So yeah, I had gotten enough time in school to practice, so I didn't practice a whole ton at home. It was the point where my parents never saw me play trumpet unless there were school concerts. You can play. So they laughed really hard because I never practiced music at all. But the second I got that guitar, I was able to convince them in less than a week. So we went out. I used money I had saved up. I didn't even have a job yet. So I used money that I had saved up. I think some of it was even tooth fairy money from when I was a kid. I had a little wad of cash on the side. So I saved up money, went out, bought this guitar, and then just did not put it down. My fingers would bleed. I would play so much. But I just loved it so much. I had a connection to that, and that's kind of just started. I started leading in my youth group.
Gave you a love for music.
Gave me a love for music, and through going to multiple, this is why, so shout out to youth ministry at any church. Churches need to have a successful youth ministry because that's where my love for worship and my understanding of what worship was really came out of me. And I was able to help lead and coach students by my senior year. What it meant to lead worship.
Yeah, so just in that short time frame, you were able to get some of those things down with the guitar, start using those giftings and leading in high school. That's really cool.
Yep.
So you said you had to convince your parents to get a guitar.
Yes.
What was your relationship like with your parents?